Um, I think I'm locked and loaded and ready to go. Hey everyone, welcome to Was That in Good Taste, your show for learning about tastes and whether or not they're good or bad. My name is Chandler Phillips, and with me as always,
I'm James Beery.
And today we got a very special episode. We are talking about synesthesia, which is a pretty interesting phenomenon. It doesn't affect a whole majority of the population, but it's about the perception of sensations and the way we experience the world around us.
Just like how you experience this podcast through audio or video on YouTube, Audible. It's not on Audible. I lied. Amazon. It is on Amazon.
Anchor.fm.
It's on Anchor.fm. It's on Audible. I think it's on Audible Podcasts.
You just said
no,
it.
No, I think it is.
Are we sure?
I think I submitted it to Audible Podcasts.
Okay. If not,
I know it's on Spotify.
If not, I'll give them a little call and we'll see.
I know, right? We'll just take care of that.
I'll just give them a little, hey, what's up, Audible? Yeah, so we're talking about synesthesia. I'm so bad at
synesthesia.
I'm so bad at saying
I got my
this
notes
word.
ready.
It's such a complicated word, but in short, it's the phenomenon that happens where you perceive one sensory stimuli as another one. So like one of the common ones is like you hear music and you can visualize colors to it, or like you smell things and there's like a sound associated with it. And what brought up, or what got me thinking about this was I was hanging out with some friends and the power went out and I was like, hey guys, it's time for some slumber party questions. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, okay, first, who do you guys got a crush on?
Oh my
and,
God.
And they were like, shut the fuck up. And I said, okay. And then I asked, do you guys ever get, or like, do you have an associated color to certain letters of the alphabet?
That's a strange question to ask, Chandler.
That's a strange question to ask someone, I guess. And they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Especially because after the crush talk, a lot of stuff was happening.
A lot.
You know,
they were like, "Oh no, I can't reveal."
Yeah, you're like in the middle of everybody's getting real sweaty, and out of nowhere, just like
I'm just like.
So, will you ever experience synesthesia?
So, do you guys perceive reality like weird, like right
in a strange way, in a different way?
But like, part of it, I think, is the fact that a lot of the, like just media or like a lot of the learning tools that teachers use, that things that are distributed from like learning or scholastic stores kind of fall into certain marketing and like advertising tropes that enforce this perception that like the easiest one is that like the letter A is red.
Yes, you're right. The letter A is always perceived as red. You watch Sesame Street, and it's always like A is red.
A is red. Is
C blue?
Well, it is in certain parts of town. No, I tend to perceive C as like yellow or a more vibrant one, mainly because B is blue. Like Baloo the bear. It's bees and blues just kind of go together.
But like, aren't you just making an association? Like that's
But like that's all of what perception is just we have a certain stimuli and it tickles our brain in a good way, and we have that associate. But like not every letter A that I see is red. It's just like that's the way it's supposed to be, you know? And then like the letter Z, that would be like sometimes yellow.
I was thinking yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's tied into South Park, but I have here in mind, because we're talking about synesthesia.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Because I didn't take that sip of this. Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, so this was actually a very fun cocktail that you put together for us today. We can talk about that a little bit.
Why? What's it for?
In the spirit of synesthesia.
Oh, that's the wrong one. In the spirit
of synesthesia.
and synesthesia. I'm synesthesia.
I thought it'd be fun if we made like a cocktail that was clear but had an associated color to it. And so like we got this very translucent, beautiful.
There's an orange thing in it, so that's why it has this color.
It's a little radiant because of the orange peel. But other than that, it kind of has this effect where like the light in it is refracted. I just thought it'd be interesting to do a clear cocktail that had a very distinct flavor color association to kind of throw us off, you know?
And I think it does actually.
Uh-huh.
I think that, so what it is, it's kind of, I guess we would call it like it's unnamed right now. It's kind of like an orange martini.
Yeah, it's somewhere between an orange martini and like a Cosmo. But like the thing with Cosmos is they're pink.
Yes.
And like you have a definitive idea of what something pink is going to taste like.
Whereas, and I think we're going to get into this more in depth at another point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a kind of like a sake cocktail. It's gin, sake, a house-made fruit syrup, which we'll probably get into some other time as well.
That's you made it yourself.
Yeah.
It's been syruping for what, a week now?
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, doing a little fermenting and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that in the future. And I love it because it's given a relatively clear liquid that we've used to sweeten just this little bit of gin and sake. Mm-hmm.
Just a
little
little
we
bit.
hate vermouth. We've had this discussion.
So anti-vermouth, especially dry vermouth. It's like, come on, lighten up, buddy.
So we get something cloudy,
mm-hmm.
something boozy, and yet sweet. And it tastes orange.
It tastes orange, which is kind of interesting because you threw in some lemons in the.
So it was grapefruits,
mm-hmm.
oranges, and Meyer lemons.
Oh, that's why. Because Meyer lemons are crossed between whatever traditional lemon and then what's the orange? They're crossed with an orange, and that's what a Meyer lemon. I recently looked this up, and I should have the information, just like.
But you don't.
But I don't. So if you're ever curious, Meyer lemons are a hybrid lemon. Ain't that pretty neat?
A hybrid of?
A lemon and I think a tangerine? No.
Let's see.
It's something smooth.
Wow,
it's
got a hybrid citrus fruit. What citrus fruit native to? It's not.
What?
It's not a lemon. It's a citron and a pomelo.
It's a citron. Wait, it's a pomelo?
Yes, it's a citron and a pomelo.
Okay, so I was thinking initially that like the citron part was the tangerine part because that one makes sense.
Yes.
Well, that just checks out. Pomelo, I wouldn't have predicted. That one kind of came out of left field for me.
Huh.
I was unprepared for the pomelo.
You know what's interesting? Because a lemon looks like a lemon.
It looks like
and
a
I
lemon.
think it tastes like one.
It talks like a
but
lemon.
It's not one.
But it doesn't quack like a lemon.
Because you're perceiving it as it being something that's complete. It's not. Just like synesthesia,
Boom.
brought it all the way back around.
Bringing it back.
You know, I think the idea and fun of having cocktails and things that like deceive you, right? My masculinity is tied into the strength of my beverage. But little do they know, there's a little fruit syrup in this cocktail.
It's a little sweet. It's a little...
just like me.
No, but it's like with cocktails especially, there's so much of an aesthetic aspect to it that tells you what to expect to taste from what you drink. Because like blue has a flavor. And also like different colors of blue have a different associated flavor.
But all grape colored and flavored things taste the same.
They taste purple.
Because I think that blue does have a flavor, and I think that we're associating the artificial flavoring that's probably used in most blue things with blue, which is different than synesthesia. Because I have an example here. I was thinking about this.
You're sitting
because
on it.
I was really trying to figure out what synesthesia is. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. So I found an example of a common form of synesthesia. Because synesthesia, as you like went over, right, is a perceptual experience, which stimuli is presented through one modality. This is from an article. The link is going to be in the show notes.
Say it. Let them know. Let them know.
So
what
pretty
it's
much,
about.
this condition comes when there's excess communication in your little sensory nodes in your brain, right? So it's not like you're just perceiving something. Red is a word we use to perceive a color, right?
Right.
And we've seen like there's cultures that don't have certain colors, and they can distinguish 800 versions of red, right? You know, maybe not green, but they're still perceiving it,
Right.
right? Even if there's no word for it.
It's still
Synesthesia is specifically you're seeing it and perceiving it in the physical manner, like the red spectrum is going to your eyes. Your brain knows what it's perceiving, but then it just
diverts.
Just goes wacky, and you think you're tasting A when you're seeing red. Or this is a thing.
Okay.
This is a thing that happens to us already. And the example is hearing music, right, and seeing colors.
Right.
When you're hearing music is a form of synesthesia. The ability to like close your eyes and like see
and actually
visualize specific like colors and stuff with your eyes closed is like a form of synesthesia.
Okay, yeah, then
because it's not existing
like that. I experienced that. I used to. So I had a roommate.
Or not. I read this off the internet.
Oh, and it could just be completely.
It could be made up.
You could just be talking out your ass right now.
I'm talking about somebody else's ass.
Call him Ass Ventura. In college, I had a roommate who was practicing to be a house DJ. And he had some nice subwoofers, some nice bass
look at the
stuff.
subwoofers in that house.
And I would come back from getting a little high on the beach, and I'd want to take a nap, and he'd be like, "Oh, do you need me to put my headphones on?" Or like, and I'm like, "No, actually, just crank the bass up a little bit," and I'd put a pillow over my head, and I'd get crazy visuals from just feeling the bass vibrations through the floor.
Because like everything is like, you know, it's a modality, right? It's not like there's no binary. Like you don't just hear music. You hear music, but like neurons in your brain do other stuff, and it does affect other things.
Right.
So synesthesia is like the medical condition where like that's wacky.
It's just wacky.
Because like you hear a song and you feel sad, but the song is not really sad. It's eliciting an emotion, right? But like
a G chord.
Like you hear it.
And it's like, and you're like, oh.
But I think it's easy to conflate that with like the emotions that you like with associations.
Well, okay, maybe I just have some strong associations. Because like, all right, the way I kind of perceive it is, I tried to break it down in the notes like this a little bit, is that like letters, alphabet letters convey a certain noise, and noise conveys emotion, and emotion links to color, and color links to taste, and taste is just a refined version of smell, or like it's experiencing the same physical chemical phenomenon that smell is. And you think about like across the senses in general, like sight, sound, and touch are all just methods of experiencing particles or waves of particles transferring energy through space and time. But taste is more defined by the chemical reactions. It's not so much the wave of energy, it's the energy released by chemical reactions. The same way smell works is like when certain air molecules bond with like our
olfactory receptors.
Exactly. Then we perceive a chemical reaction. And so we could smell and taste whether or not something is good based on like,
which is like my rule for everyone. Like, you know, if you're trying to determine if something in your fridge is good, it's, you know,
sniff it out.
First you gotta look at it.
Mm-hmm.
If it looks good, smell it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it smells good, taste it. But usually, if you can see it, then you know. And if you can't see it,
You
you can smell it. And if you can smell it, you don't have to taste it.
Right. It's a series of like
Because
it's troubleshooting.
Yeah, the sympathetic bonds are kind of connected, and the neuroreceptors. And now, this is my astrology now.
Oh,
I just believe that like they resonate, right? And I know they do because, right, there is no, as much as I know it, and I don't know nothing, there are no walls in your brain between receptors, right? Your body, these all the receptors going around, and they are shaped and they're targeted and programmed by your body to go to certain places.
It's kind of like having not necessarily physical railroads between receptors, but like
Yes.
there are certain.
But some of the receptors definitely get off the track sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is not why when you smell something you can taste it. Because when you're smelling stuff, you're smelling particles in the air.
Like those sensory organs are actually connected.
Yes,
like
and
that's a little.
But this is like you smelling, and the signal to the neuron that's telling you the smell is a little too close to the neuron where you hear something.
But you probably experienced this or at least I'm hoping you know what I'm talking about.
Never.
Where like if you have something tangy, it kind of sounds high pitched.
I think that's a thing though.
Like,
So that's the problem. I feel like so many things are like we just don't know it, right? Because that is an experience that I think is very universal.
right.
So it has to be a thing.
That
Because it's probably relation to pectin, or so, you know what I mean? Like maybe the fucking pectin, which is like, maybe it's super acidic or some shit. Maybe it's affected. I'm making up shit. I'm just saying, it's so universal that it can't be just throwaway.
right.
You know what I mean?
Like there's got to be some sort of like. Are you thinking like it was an?
We should make it up.
An evolutionary.
Oh hell
like,
yeah!
Thing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we develop, but
So
in
that you can hear how sour the lemons are from a distance. Your ancestors are crawling through the bush,
and
or sitting in your houses while It's Black History Month. Come on.
Well, like that's why I really, really, really like that one scene in Ratatouille where I think it's the opening scene where he's talking about like the flavor of cheese, and it's a visualization of like a yellow little just line, like a visualizer, and then the strawberry comes in, and they're kind of like one's popping and crackling, and the
I
other
really
one's
wonder
kinda,
how much of that stuff is like biological synesthesia. Like seriously, because like doing like the smallest cursory reading about it, like
it seems
everybody is mildly affected by it.
Yeah,
But like people who are so affected by it that they think colors taste green, the percentage is like there was a number I think we both had. It's like 4% of the general population.
yeah.
But genetic research in synesthesia suggests the phenomenon is heterogeneous and polygenetic. All right, so that means that
Yeah, what's that mean?
well, it just so happens that polygenetic means multiple genetic.
Wow.
Okay, so
You're just a well of knowledge. Just you overfloweth with.
all right, so I got all
So
right.
what-
I mean,
what's-
since you fucking asked,
what's
right?
heterogeneous?
So it's all about familial.
heterogeneous.
Yes. So it's all
Genius.
about how. So
Uh-huh.
there's a strong genetic component, pretty much. So pretty much, like some stuff is not connected or whatever, but like there are lots of genetic markers that supposedly combined can contribute to people who have this condition.
Right.
But also, as it says here from this website that I added in the show notes because that I might not post. It depends on how I feel about it. Sometimes I look at them and I think, I don't want to go through it and change anything, so I don't want to
So we're
post
not-
it.
So
But-
good luck.
But look at this fucking picture. Oh God.
The 8.
I have to save the picture now. Hold on.
Wow.
Damn it! I gotta save the picture because I gotta post it on the fucking internet. Can I
So-
make it bigger?
Kind of what was interesting is initially when I was telling my friends about this, one of them texted a friend and was like, "Hey, Chandler's saying some crazy shit, but do you know what he's talking about? And I was like, wait, ask him what color they think certain letters of the alphabet, and I'll give you my answer. And if they respond with the same answer, I'm not just making shit up. And we went 3 for 3. It was kind of wild. Q is purple, or Q is deep and dark.
I think this is funny. Somebody's gonna complain yet? Okay, editing James. It's on your phone.
Check it out.
It's on your Google Photos. It's gonna be there so people can see the picture we were looking at.
Oh, perfect.
Of the numbers.
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
Because I think I just think that like they should see the because
0's interesting. That one's
0. Wow, because 0, as you can see on the screen, oh my fucking god. As you can see on the screen, there I don't work. There's like dots. It's 8. Okay, get the fuck out of my face. Whoever came up with this
I kind of
picture,
feel it though.
The 8 okay, for the audio listeners only. The 8 is drawn with the 2 circles, but each half of the top circle and the bottom circle, one half is red. And another is blue.
They didn't just draw 2 circles.
Let's describe this for audio listeners.
They drew it in like the S method of drawing an 8.
Yes.
Where you start at the top and you go S.
Is that the only way? Is there another way to draw an 8?
Snowman style.
Never.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Fucking madness.
I wouldn't. Personally,
oh my god.
I have difficulty really getting into the mind of someone who would draw it snowman style, but
I could, but like, don't make me.
Ugh.
That just seems inconvenient.
Yeah. Or you start from the bottom.
Also,
and then you're here.
And earlier you missed a fucking joke that was fucking killing me because you were talking about how I think it was it sight leads the smell leads the taste, but none of them led to the dark side.
Oh,
like the whole time I was sitting there on the edge of my seat, like
I was getting into it. I was like, no, guys, but like, I swear, like it's all connected.
The one, I love how the one is just like empty. One is just like the way you might draw one if you were a child.
Yeah.
It's like the block letter, but there's no color in it.
I disagree with that.
Green is, 3. Oh, you see, I did it.
Yeah.
3 is green.
I kind of get it though. I don't. I would have done a darker green.
7, how the inside of 7 is orange, and the outside is green.
I like that. I really like that.
That's like some fucking punk shit. That's punk as fuck.
That's pretty. It's giving me alligator vibes. I love it.
You just, in the middle of the episode, does it tell your alligator joke?
For those of you who don't know, 4-foot alligator was found in Prospect Park this past weekend.
That's Brooklyn, New York.
And I don't know where I was going. It was just something that happened. And I had wrote some jokes about it.
And I thought you were going to fucking do the joke. Are you fucking kidding me? You literally started. I thought you started the joke.
Okay, I'll do it again. This weekend, 4-foot alligator was found in the lake of Prospect Park. Police were immediately notified, and they shot the alligator for resisting arrest. They had said, lay down on the ground. He nailed that part. But when they said, put your hands behind your head, he went... His fatal last words were, I'll see you later. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
He wouldn't say alligator because he is an alligator.
Because he is the alligator. He doesn't need to finish a joke. He's an alligator.
Man, fuck. God. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Good stuff.
Ignore this. This is backup beverage.
That's back. Oh, you haven't even finished the first one. What else we got here? Oh, how this kind of thing tends to be overstimulating. Like, if you have too many bright colors and too many loud noises at the same time.
That's every day.
That's just every day?
So, whoa.
Huh?
Is that synesthesia?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
Fuck, man. Because here's the thing, is like a lot of times, and like for me, it doesn't struggle so much, but like there's like certain tones and loud noises that like I really struggle with, a lot of bright lights. but like there are people I've dated, some of my friends, where certain colors, certain lights, certain sounds causes a strong negative physiological response. And I'm wondering because in reading this one article that I read from this one website and no others, but it seems to be the one that everybody else is stealing from.
It's so universally cited.
So I mean, then we're all wrong,
or they're just pulling our leg. You know, they're this whole synesthesia.
So that means
Synesthesia.
There's likely a physiological. Oh God, there's probably a physiological cause for some of the aspects of autism, because it's
in the way of processing stimuli.
Yes, I'm wondering if it's similar, because not because maybe synesthesia is very specifically when you have input and your body processes it incorrectly in a way in which you perceive it in another way you understand, but it's wrong because you have to understand it. I don't believe, I didn't look it up, but it'd probably be hard to gauge synesthesia like a baby because they don't know what red is. So
stupid ass babies don't even know what red is.
So even if they
fucking grow up, baby.
Even if they heard red, they would have a difficult time expressing
and identifying
it.
Yeah. Well, because like how
and I've noticed that a lot of my friends who've had difficulty with their parents and their autism, right? It's like when they're younger, when their parents speak or certain situations, like they don't know how to process it. But it's like always described to me as like very intense, you know. And I've experienced like this, like, you know, sometimes shit is loud or difficult, and sometimes it connects weirdly. And I wonder how much of that is physiological, how much of that is related. But I don't know. I'm making it up. I don't fucking know.
Well, now let's talk about weed in that sense. Have you ever smelled purple weed? Like, or had weed that wasn't purple smell purple?
Here's the thing. I know what purple weed smells like because even before I ever smoked the cannabis, I was exposed to it and I was told
this is what
it is.
Right.
So like, I don't know. That's why like I feel like a lot of how I relate colors is to Sesame Street.
And it's kind of been socially influenced.
It could be like,
or maybe just that's Sesame Street just put us on
what
to
if
like.
I looked at because like I remember the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 was a pinball machine.
Yeah.
But I remember many times of them counting letters. And I know that Sesame Street has a style guide.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they maintain the colors. You know who's going to know?
Who would know?
Maybe me, if I look it up later. Because I could put it here. I could like play a clip.
Plop it
and then we could be like, well, what color is A? It's red.
A is red.
What color is? So I know Z feels yellow.
Yeah. Which is weird because yellow, or like Y you'd think would be yellow, but like it is sometimes, but Z is a stronger yellow. Like Y can almost get away with being like,
I mean,
a light blue,
or sometimes a dark blue.
Ooh, no, because X is dark blue.
Yo, X is dark blue. And it's so funny because earlier you were like Z, and I was thinking to myself, Z is yellow, Z is yellow, Z is yellow. And you fucking said it.
Yeah.
And I lost my fucking mind.
So like, I guess that's, I don't know if this is something that just like, as we have existed in a social setting that is heavily influenced by advertising and marketing and subliminal campaign, and like the amount of just stuff that we've had thrown at us, there's bound to be some sort of like universal.
Are you fucking kidding
guide.
me?
What? No, I'm not kidding you. It's what? Are you looking at the Sesame Street style guide?
So what I did was, and I'm not gonna do any more research.
No more fucking research.
is I have here in front of me, right in front of me, this Sesame Street alphabet where A is yellow.
That's wrong.
And Z is red. And
All
I
of
just
the-
realized, because we've talked about before how memory is very fallible, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's likely that these have always been the colors and we don't remember it correctly. So we could have easily mixed Z and A, because I definitely said to you earlier, is C blue?
You did say that.
And I had a feeling that that B was red, but it didn't feel right.
It's still, I don't like.
But I think it makes sense.
I don't like seeing the yellow A
because But doesn't this feel right though?
No, the C
being blue,
the C being blue, and the Y being that shade of yellow makes sense. The Q is wrong. The R's fine.
I think the Q is the right color, but I feel like it just looks wrong. I feel like it's drawn wrong.
The H is good. The H is green.
The A and the B make sense, and the Z makes sense to me. I think, and the Y. So I think that we were remembering, but you know what?
You might have been remembering it wrong. I know what I think.
But then,
like, I feel
okay,
upset.
but
Are
then
you
there's a
looking
different version where Rosalia, who is from Harlem, and she's Rosalia. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying she's Rosalia. You know, she's a Hispanic puppet.
Oh,
you know, she's like, Buenos dias. I'm Rosalia. I get a Rosalina. I'm not trying to disrespect her. I don't watch South Park.
What's that song that's like Rosalina? Dun, 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 dun.
I swear, I feel like you sing it with the right beat, with the wrong tone and tempo every time.
Well, yeah, because I'm speeding it up to just get through it.
So I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
Rosalia, pretty little mama, she been trying to fuck all day.
Yeah,
that one, right?
I just
no, is it?
There's so many. Oh my god, this. Okay, I need to stop looking at this before I have to take.
You're
mad
gonna have to do a
screenshots.
lot.
No,
of
I'm
work.
not. I refuse.
You're just making more work.
You
can just listen to me and be like, you
know what?
You're
Yeah,
right, Chandler.
You're totally
all
right.
of what you say,
even
about
though
the alphabet,
even though it looks like the main character, who's the person talking about the alphabet, the first letter seems to be their color. So that's kind of disheartening.
Which main character?
I mean, it depends. Because Elmo has his own thing, but he's important.
He isn't.
Big Bird.
He's the main character.
But I feel like Big Bird. But
here's why C makes sense as blue. I still don't completely agree with A.
Because Crip.
Well, because C is for cookie, and that's
you're right,
and that's good enough for me.
You know what I saw? This is so great. Okay, fuck. I guess I watched Sesame Street today. Lizzo was on Sesame Street, and she played a cookie flute.
Oh, it's dope.
And then Cookie Buster said, "Can I play it?"
Oh no!
And he ate the cookie flute. And then when he was talking, a flute was playing in his stomach.
That's hilarious.
And it was pretty good.
That's pretty okay.
And I also love, by the way, that cookies for Cookie Monster right now are always a sometimes food.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for him. He's changing his ways.
Yeah.
He's cutting back.
Yeah. He can't help himself.
He's no longer.
He ate a really rare, the only ever to exist cookie flute. He just couldn't help himself.
Well, and the GOP is all mad because it was Thomas Jefferson's cookie flute. Or no, James Madison's cookie flute. Quincy Adams' cookie flute.
It was Alexander Hamilton's cookie flute.
Oh no, he actually sold his cookie flute in order to pay alimony to his wife because he cheated on her.
And then she had to go to work.
Yeah. Alexander Hamilton is a bastard. He's the reason there's a national
He's
day.
the worst person ever.
He's a piece of shit. Alexander Hamilton, go fuck yourself, dude. That's all I have to say on the subject.
So hold on. We got some more synesthesia stuff here that you've written.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when you write these episodes because I like to just go through it. I feel like I have a lot of fun. Ending.
I get a nice flow going through some of these.
You know, so John Green, who I love, okay?
And he's actually more of a blue.
You know about John and Hank Green, of course, the Vlog Brothers from YouTube.
Mm.
You know,
actually, you said John Green. I was picturing Seth Green.
Oh,
so yeah, and which he's actually orange.
They do like the what is it, the awesome charity 24-hour stream, the Awesome Socks Club. They do Crash Course.
Is that,
and a lot of other, you know,
is that Mr. Beast or is that a different thing?
What?
I don't.
And John Green also wrote, I believe.
Know.
I mean, Hank Green wrote. People who watch them know, or whatever. Hank Green, not John Green, wrote Looking for Alaska.
Did he find it?
Her, right?
I don't know.
Remember it.
Why are we genderizing our states?
Paper Towns. I think that was Hank. Okay, they share a lot. And one of the things is that one time I was on TikTok and John was talking about, was it Hank? Fuck. One of them was talking
either way
about bones in your body and feeling your bones.
Well, I've felt a bone or two in my body.
Like the ability to feel your bones inside of you.
Uh-huh.
And you have here, you mentioned retinal cells perceive energy, travel through space and color, but then micro hairs inside the organs of your ear.
Yeah.
And I just read that, and all I thought was, there are micro hairs
in your cochlea.
In my cochlea. And likely also inside of me.
I mean, those are the ones that are technically inside of you.
There's like probably more. Our bodies are so complex and weird, and we don't feel what's happening. So like our ability to perceive what's happening in the real world is subject to two things: to external stimuli. We, like what we're told, what we learn, right? You know? But there's a whole physiological level that it's subconscious, that we don't know about, right?
And
it exists just separate of us, and it's just like a fucking mystery. So like, wait, how do you know?
What do you mean there's a physiological?
So like this, right? So like, you're existing, right?
Yeah.
And you know that like your heart's beating.
Yeah.
You are making your heart beat.
Well, it's kind of doing that on its own.
But it's also not. And you are disconnected from that. So all the stuff that you see, right? And your cones in your eyes do all the shit, you know, if you're myopic or have astigmatism, it comes into your eyes. You perceive it, but it's so separate from you.
Well, funny enough, the way like our eye lenses and stuff are made, we see it upside down. And
yes,
our brain inverts the image so that, you know, we understand gravity or like that sense. But so are you saying like there's you as a physical entity,
the conscious being,
where
you're aware of what you do and you're aware of what you perceive. So I'm aware that behind you that I can see is a picture of my mother and my aunt as children in a painting. My mother's wearing like teal and my aunt's wearing like red.
Right.
I perceive and understand red. I perceive and see this painting, but my coworker's a little colorblind and he doesn't realize it. And when I show him things and we talk about it, he doesn't understand that he's not seeing
the same red,
same colors.
Well, because
I'm seeing.
He's learned to associate whatever colors he does see with that label, even though, like, if you were to take a snapshot of what his eye and retinal cells are perceiving, you would probably see something that looks a little bit more like pea soup instead of red.
Our bodies are processing these things randomly.
Mhm.
and we've learned how to interpret them. So you mentioned
Almost
yes.
instantaneously.
So you said, and it's very true, right? You know, the fucking light comes in, the cones and shit is like mirrored or whatever, but our brains are wired ahead of time before we have no control over it, and we're able to perceive. I'm able to perceive you in front of me.
And the only reason you can perceive me in front of you right now is because we have a light right there and a light right there that is emitting energy that is then bouncing off me and being radiated back towards you. So, like, my shirt is gray, right? But real quick, it is gray.
But it is gray.
Okay. So my shirt is gray, but really it's everything except gray. Because the color gray is what's actually being radiated off of the shirt.
But is it gray? Because it's not gray. Because what is gray? It's like white.
Well,
and dirty. And it's like stuff.
It's not dirty.
Not dirty, but like there's different colors. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, there's like black mixed in with white, which is kind of making me see gray. And and the thing about synesthesia.
Oh, that reminds me. Okay.
Okay,
sorry,
no,
finish
continue.
your thought.
No, continue.
So I read something about how magenta doesn't actually exist as a color because color spectrum wise, red and purple are on the complete opposite sides of the color spectrum of the visual, like the wavelength that is needed to make infrared and ultraviolet. It doesn't loop back around like the way we picture it. And so magenta is actually something that's radiating both those wavelengths at the same time. And it's not that they mix into the color magenta, it's that our brain just happens to synthesize it into the color magenta, where like there isn't a wavelength or like there isn't an energy wavelength that actually corresponds to the color magenta because it's the middle between red and purple.
Aren't there a lot of colors like that?
There might be. I just know that magenta is like the best example of it because it's the two colors that are on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. But like for the most part, everything in the middle can at least be designated with a certain frequency. That was the word. Certain wave frequency of the light. Which that's a whole weird thing too, where it's like, oh, is light a wave? Is it particles? Is it like, because you got photons and like, is it energy that's being transferred? Is it?
I know enough to sound smart in a conversation at a bar about this, but not enough to have an actual conversation about it because
it's wild.
It's wild. It's complex. You know, it's because when we're perceiving things, when we're looking at things, when we're experiencing things, we do it also from a position of our knowledge, right? So like we don't know when we see light or light reflects to us, refracts off of this glass, how it's doing that. Right. Maybe you do if you go to school long enough. But like you don't. You just experience it.
Right. Well, because we've only developed, like we're only evolved to the point of what's absolutely necessary to survive. Supposedly. I mean, like you have the whole learning curve of
folding
humanity
phones.
And folding phones and all that. But as far as like our mental, psychological faculties and the way we process stuff, it's only developed to the point where it's absolutely, we wouldn't be able to survive otherwise. And then you take things that are like the mantis shrimp, for example, which we have, I think like, what was it? 3 different types of retinal cells, or no, it's the rods and cones, and they perceive like 3 different ranges. Or I don't know why I'm thinking 3, but you know, y'all can figure that out later.
Whatever you say.
But the mantis shrimp has these retinal cells that can process 15 times more than what we can process. It has a the power to internalize stimuli.
But it's also their brains.
It's
because their brain, like just how we are able to flip the images that we see in verse so that we
Right.
can understand them. You know, I read Animorphs, okay? You know, like the bugs got lots of eyes. That would be really hard for the human brain to process.
right.
But the brain of a mosquito or a housefly
Apparently,
or dragonfly.
dragonflies are super badass eyes.
Yes. That's the one I was really looking for. Dragonflies, especially, like their fucking eyes are like fucking wild. They can zoom in, like telescopic fucking,
That's fucking dope.
you know, but like, and their brains are much smaller than ours and probably like have less processing power.
But it's like if their software and hardware doesn't meet the standards of what they're.
We don't have the drivers.
We don't have the drivers. We barely got the shaders. We. I don't know, man.
No,
I don't
man.
computers. But
So we don't have the polygons.
we barely even got the fucking G-force. What?
Yeah. We barely have the G-force.
Netscape?
G-force is the name of, like NVIDIA's G-force.
Yeah.
4090, the
That's what-
RTX 4090.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
No, I'm rocking with a floppy disk. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
I once in this very room fixed a zip drive in 1997.
I was a server once. Thank you. This other bullet point. So we talk a lot about taste on this show, right? One of the things that we were talking about with our slumber party convo was like I was trying to justify this sensation. I was like, well, you guys know how like taste has rhythm and like there's crescendos and like there's an actual like things happen with taste that happen in time with rhythm, and like in order to hone taste and flavors, you have to kind of do shit to like not just you as the perceiver, but as the preparer, is you have to do things that space out certain flavors. Like when we try whiskeys that are like high proof whiskeys, usually they need like a little drop of water just so the flavor itself.
I mean, same thing with wine.
Same thing with the wine.
Has to be the right temperature. You leave it out too long. You don't use it enough.
And then we also talk about, all right, the forward and then the like texture. But like when we try wine, there's the initial, how does it start? And sometimes it starts dry and ends
Whatever the fuck
sweet.
that is.
You know what it is.
No, but that's the thing about perception as well. Like, what is dry?
All right.
You have to condition yourself also
This is what
to
dry.
understand.
I'm going to explain what dry is to everyone who's listening.
All right.
And to some of them who are watching. You know the scene in SpongeBob where he tries Gary's food and he like kind of sticks his tongue out and he's got the mound of food and he goes, "Ugh," and then like as soon as it touches the food, his tongue just shrivels up instantaneously and he does the like, ugh. It's just the sensation of like your tongue shriveling a little bit. You get a little shrinkage on the side of your tongues, and that's the tannic. That's tannin dryness, right? Because you get that when you have like quinine and tonic or like a real dry gin. Like that's that flavor. Whereas if you start that way and then you kind of get a little bit more of the fruit juice that comes through, it's a very abrupt start. It's kind of like it kicks in the door a little bit with like a big kind of brassy like, and then it like,
Well,
you know, so a dry wine to me, actually this specific wine tastes like the intro to For Free from To Pimp a Butterfly.
for free, this dick ain't free. Act like it didn't give you a receipt. All right, listen. Hold on. I found another article from another random website that says that dry wine, you ready for this?
Yep.
Is one that contains no residual sugar or sweetness.
I wouldn't
The
say
level of dryness is determined during winemaker. It's related to fermentation, and it's related to how much sugar is left after the yeasts have a chance to fully gobble up the sugar.
But wait, because I'm not trying to describe a dry wine. I'm trying to describe the sensation of dryness when trying any kind of wine.
Oh, you're talking about the sensation itself.
The sensation itself,
Which is like, it feels like you've been exposed to a lot of salinity. It feels like you've been exposed to a lot of, like sugar, like salt water.
like salt water, or even just like almost leathery, or like I don't. Actually, I don't taste. I know I said it, or like this.
Okay, this wine is different.
This
But we're not
wine's-
talking about the wine.
This
But
one's actually a little bit more tart, and it's. I'm a fan of it. You go wine. The other orange wine that we tried the other night, that one had a very bizarre dry intro, and then it blossomed, and it had that like, and then it kind of sounded like, it tasted like it sounded like an orchestra warming up into like a really
you know, that makes
nice
a lot of sense.
clarinet solo.
Because I feel like an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
An old fashioned to me tastes like, yes, yeah. Oh, but also a little fun. Like, oh, wow. Like, listen, hun, like, I know we're just being like this because they're here. Like, we're really trying to just get drunk. Like
We know it's a
We're
joke.
going to Taco Bell after this. Like,
Don't worry, just get it down.
it's fucking bread shit.
So, like the cocktail that we had earlier, I'm going to ask you, but then I'm going to try to develop my own opinion. How would you describe it with a song? Because it's got a nice citrusiness, and the wine or the gin in it is more on the floral side than it is super dry. Like, you get a nice it's not too piney. I think the sake actually carries it pretty well.
It has occurred to me that this cocktail reminds me I'm thinking. For me, it tastes like a book.
Interesting. What kind of book?
I'm glad my mom died by Jeanette McCordy specifically.
Ooh.
Sweet, but like, I don't know, man. Like, it tastes like, I love my mother, but it tastes like I hate my mother. Not my mother,
Ooh.
but somebody's.
It tastes like someone hates their
It tastes
mother.
like I'm mad,
He's mad.
but I ain't stressed. Like, it tastes like I can't, like, it tastes to me like reading a book when it's too, like, my favorite way to read a book is like in the rain, like when it, like the weather is like the drops are dropping outside and it feels nice and like cool inside. This tastes like I'm reading a good book, but it's a little too warm for me. It tastes like a Jack Johnson song.
Ooh.
It tastes like banana pancakes
Really?
because that shit's so saccharine and sweet, but it's strong.
But it's not. But that song in particular is very mellow and very like.
I think about it in relation to myself, like the feeling.
Okay.
Like I'm not.
You're right. I can't tell you.
I'm not
what
breaking
you feel
down
about that.
like
That's-
actually comparing the flavors to the song. When I drink it, it feels like making banana pancakes.
Make a banana van.
But I just wish it was the weekend. I wish we could just be there. Like it tastes like I wish. I don't know how to explain that.
Okay.
It tastes like I wish.
Like a longing, or like
Banana pancakes,
huh?
specifically.
That Jack Johnson song. Jack Johnson. Huh.
That, or like, it tastes like Brett Dennen does Desert Sunrise. It's like this. It's like it's so. it feels so dry. It feels so emotional to me.
Wait, the song
The
feels
drink.
dry or the drink feels dry?
The drink feels emotional and sweet and intense.
Okay.
That's how the drink tastes. It tastes so like it's a lot. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like How I Met Your Mother, and Ted is like talking and they're like, "I love you," to somebody he just met.
That's intense. Really, you think it's that intense?
It's very sweet because that like literally that's the feeling I get.
Interesting.
That's just the feeling I get. Like that's like the actual like when I taste it, that's what I get. Like that song "Doesn't Sunrise" with Brett Dennen. It doesn't sunrise, ignite my soul, painting me in shades of gray, like some poetic, super sappy, but like it's so intense. It feels so sweet to me. How sweet you are.
I get a little bit more funk from it, and not like twang funk, but like like a little bit of a walking bass line to it. Like I had the song in my head.
It's because it's Black History Month.
I had to. Well, this might upset you then. The song that I taste in this drink is by Beck, "Cell Phone's Dead," which
How's it go?
Yeah, and then it's like a kind of like a that's what I get from because like the citrus gives it like those kind of bright bursts of like that funky bass where it's just wow, but also the visual clarity of it with just a little bit of haze kind of gives me like the vocals, you can understand them, but they're still nonsense words, almost like come together, but like done by Aerosmith, not by.
No, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Because that's that on. Then it's like boom, boom, boom,
Like the exact that
and then you're just
bluesy,
like,
funky.
you know, boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
Come together. Then, like that part, like you know that part, but then the rest is like
Here come on, flat top pika.
something.
Mojo filter, he said.
Something.
Got to be good looking cause he's so hard to
You're affected with
see.
Michael Jackson. You're affected.
I
You can't
am.
help it.
Got to be that. It's not a Michael Jackson song. This drink is not
No,
a
it's
Michael
definitely not a
Jackson.
Michael Jackson song.
Distinctly.
That's more like a Capri Sun.
Oh. Maybe a high C.
Oh,
No, that's a Mariah Carey song. Cause she hits the high C.
oh.
That was anywho. What other bullet points did we have? Did we want to?
I don't know. This is up to, I think that was it.
Did we hit all of them? We hit the
Wow.
crescendos. We hit overstimulation.
In fucking time. This is not
Wow.
going to be an hour and a half long this time.
You know what? We're getting good at this. We're getting pretty good at this. Do you, any last notes that you want to like leave off on, or like just remember, kids, when it comes to tasting flavors, don't try the lime green ones. You will always be underwhelmed and overstimulated.
Make sure if you're going to taste colors and see music that you do it safely and with a friend.
And yeah, always
Drink orange juice.
yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Drink a little orange juice.
Maybe a little tea and some lemon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A little tea and some lemon.
I had something in mind that I wanted to say, and then I just completely. Oh, yeah, actually. So you know the flavor of banana that we get, and like
I already know it.
the synthetic.
The minute you say
Yeah.
that, I know it. Runts.
Runts.
The banana runt.
So do you know that flavor actually is was once real, but the banana
Yes.
that synthetic flavor is
I
based
likely
off of,
read or
Mhm.
saw the same
the
article.
that banana that has that flavor that the banana flavoring is based off of in candies and whatnots is extinct. We no longer have that banana.
Don't look up where the phrase Banana Republic comes from because you're going to be upset.
Ooh.
Does it have to do with banana company?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's
That's the worst part.
That's literally like probably like there was I got something. There was once a point in time in history. I mean, you can still do this, but you need to have more money. Where like you could be a company that has like a few $1 million, and you could just be like, "We're gonna take over this country."
We can just, subvert this government and terrorize
Man.
the community. Well, that was a fun note to
Democrats
end
taste like runs. So do Republicans. Republicans taste like the cherry flavor. That tastes like the fucking the cough medicine.
the Robitussin one.
Yeah. I feel
Wait,
like all
but
cherry. I feel
wait,
like
but
all
I-
cherry tastes the same.
I kind of like the Robitussin cherry.
That's why.
No. Oh no. Am I part of the problem? Oh no.
You are the problem.
All right. All right. Should we close it up now?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to Was That in Good Taste?
Wow.
We're gonna be
Oh,
putting
oh.
Oh,
That's
sick.
the wrong. Oh,
Fuck it. We're gonna be doing some more stuff about like what we put into this cocktail. You're gonna do some extra shit about like the citrus syrup that we used in this cocktail. We're gonna talk more about this on a Behind the Bar. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit.
Do all the stuff.
So that you can keep
You gotta keep it real spicy at the end.
Uh-huh.
Everybody who's watching and listening now, leave a comment pretending that we said the worst thing ever, but
Oh my.
don't specify what it
was.
is.
Ooh. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing is we're gonna be trying to do a lot more unique and like
I love
like
that.
homemade cocktail, or not homemade, but like trying to come up with recipes on our own. But like if you guys have any suggestions for those too, let us know. If there's like something you're like, this is my drink, who knows? We might feature it. You might win the drawing.
Which is just being featured.
Exactly.
No money,
No money,
no exposure,
no whammies.
no whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
You know
These
what?
kids don't know that.
I honestly, I don't even remember the name of the game that I know.
I'm gonna say a game show and it's gonna be wrong. The
Huh?
Gong Show.
No,
No, it's not the Gong Show, right?
it's not the Gong Show.
That's it. That's what it is. No, it's Price is Right.
Nope.
It's if you knew what it was,
I know it's not The Price is Right
how do you know?
because it's a different game. Like it's a different game show entirely. I can,
Well, maybe leave the
I can
comment.
picture the board. Leave a comment if you know what the fuck game show we're talking about.
Drinking is not required.
But it might be recommended. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
I love you.
I get the last word. It's Black History Month.